The following is a presentation of the ERL Ace Championship on Sparkplug Motorsports. Welcome to the Ace Championship, where I Am Turbo is stuck on pole from Casper LeBeau and Cosmos Padisis. Then it's Ahmed Cilia, Tommy, and Jensen Olsen. Ryan Burson, fresh off of his first win, starts 7th from Gab Stappen and Millian Brulez, and running out the top 10 is Silly. Then it's Magic, Moises Lima, Nora, and Thomas Holtz from your boy and Lam Frong. Starting 17th is Exferno from Claire de Lune, and new to the Ace Championship, Guillermo Perez starts 19th from Star, Drago, and Matthew. The points leader is on the back row. The points leader to be starts second. I Am Turbo with his first pole position. It's the Ace Championship from Belgium. And we are green. And a great start from the Campos Meta driver in this 11-lap race. Better start there from Cosmos Padisis, who's got the inside line, makes the lunge, and is up into second. Ryan Burson with a 5-second time penalty, but aside from that, they've kept it clean, going down the hill and up into a Rouge and Radion. On board we go with car number 5. What a run for Casper LeBeau. Truly trying to get into that title hunt now. Tries to get alongside with I Am Turbo, just can't, but is currently marginally in front of Cosmos Padisis, going down into turn number 4. Nora with a 5-second time penalty, detrimental to his race, but Casper LeBeau has to drop back down to P3. Ahmed Cilia for Mana Motorsport in the number 16 car, back up into 4th position. But for I Am Turbo and Campos Meta GP, brilliant stuff to be up in the race lead from Cosmos Padisis and Casper LeBeau. It's a very, very long lap here at Spa-Francorchamps, if not the longest lap of the calendar. Star and Claire de Lune at the very back of the pack for Junior Motorsports. Drago in the number 3 Power Motorsport car. Down in 20th position for the man who leads the championship. Casper LeBeau could be on course to leave here as the points leader into the penultimate round of the championship. Meanwhile, Millian Brulez, I think, fighting Silly there for High Tech GP. There is the lunge from Silly, as Exferno also trying to make his way through the field. 10-second time penalty for Nora, the man who led the championship for quite a while in the early stages of the season, now firmly outside of the top 10, and Lam Fong getting a time penalty as well. Guillermo Perez, still a Chip Ganassi man through and through, but now driving in their Ace Championship division, as well as Zanchi has decided to pull out. Casper LeBeau using his hack mode, heading down the Camel Straight, now up into 2nd position, but those soft tyres beginning to grain up. We saw something like this at the Champ Car Trophy of Belgium. I think some of the teams there might not have relayed data, probably because of the different tyre compounds, but we have already seen the tyres in the Ace Championship quite more susceptible to tyre wear, especially in the late stages of a race. So we'll see how that turns out later on. And now Casper having to defend from Cosmos Padisis, as our cameras once again struggling to keep up with the high intensity of the Ace Championship. 1.5 seconds the margin between 1st and 2nd. And your boy, fresh off of a podium last time out, now only finds himself in P16, but the best start of the field going to the man who's fighting for a championship in Champ Car, but now in the Ace Championship is really just filling in a spot, and he's filling in well. In comes I Am Turbo. Casper LeBeau stays out. And this could pose a problem. Casper LeBeau fastest lap 1:30.6. 7 or 8 to go in this race. Ahmed Celia on the back of Cosmas Spedisis. And really, we do not expect these soft tires to last too long. I'm thinking this race could be a 4-stopper if the mediums wear similarly and no one decides to use the hards. I think the optimal strategy is going to be a 3-stop. And that's a scary thought in a race with this little laps. That's a pit stop about 30-ish% of the laps of this race. Ahmed Celia now up in second position in front of Cosmas Spedisis as Claire de Lune sets the fastest first sector of the race. Struggling to find some words, it's very late at night, and I'm sorry for that. Fun fact about Claire de Lune, though, I believe named after a song by Debussy, or Debus, or however you're meant to pronounce it. And that name translates to moonlight, so the Philippine driver for Junior Motorsports actually making a way through the field as we speak, up in 11th position from last on lap 1. Definitely some history behind it. Casper LeBeau leads us on lap 3, heading into the bus stop chicane. And I expect the top 2 to both come into the pits. It's going to be a very troublesome race to have a puncture so early on. 20% tire wear for the guys on the softs already. And I think Silly is staying out there on lap 4. 32% tire wear. I expect them to make it to the end, as Cosmas and Casper coming out of the pits on the hard tires. So that's a smart move. If you have hard tires available, race time is when you use them. Out of the pits for Casper, who will re-emerge in this race behind not just I Am Turbo, but also Jensen Olsen. And Guillermo Perez on the back of Casper. Casper never having to see Paris before. Well, here's the introduction to the man who could be a Champ Car World Champion. Using the tandem in a caution has been waived. It's for Drago. Points leader Drago. No way. Power unit issue. And out of the race for the points leader. And the championship battle, heading into the final 2 races, is now wide open. And for Casper LeBeau, all he has to do is outscore Nora, really. And with Nora having a 5-second time penalty, this is what's referred to as an open goal for the championship. We're back under the green flags. Your first caution in a handful of races in the Ace Championship. This time, not even caused by any contact, just a power train failure. And we've got a 5-second time penalty for... oh no! Gab Stappen with a front puncture as Lam Thong has been given a time penalty for causing a collision with the Brazilian. Front puncture for the man in the 1 car. Now has to travel on the longest lap with that ailment. 12% for the top 3. Well, all yet to stop. 9% for Million Brules. So we know who's not been taking care of their tyres all too well. I Am Turbo surely going to be leading here as we go on board with the 20. Goes around the outside. And I think that's a lead, isn't it? No, it's not. Just in front of... that's Jensen Olsen in P2 now. Brilliant stuff from the Furniture Row Racing man as Tommy with the fastest 3rd sector. And also brilliant stuff from Guillermo Perez and Chip Ganassi Racing. May have just dropped down to P5, but started outside of the top 10. This is a really fantastic rookie effort. I cannot speak for some reason. Jensen Olsen, though, heading down the Camel Straight with the tandem, leads for Furniture Row Racing as they go for their 2nd race win on the season. Gab Stappen, by the way, going through Blanchiment, or White Mountain to translate it from French, heading into the bus stop chicane, and I think he will be able to make it into the pits, and that is going to be absolutely terrible for his race. Just came into the pits on the prior lap, and it's now surely going to be a lap down. But Jensen Olsen leads from I Am Turbo and Casper LeBeau, and I Am Turbo for the 2nd race running finds himself in contention for the win. Look at that from Casper. Just ripping all of the hope away from the Campos Mesa driver. 0.3 of a second is the gap between the top two. I think Casper LeBeau has heard that Drago was out of this race and just thought, yeah, I'm going to try and make the championship easy. And somehow, Ahmed Cilia to the lead in Belgium. That's incredible. That's amazing. That is absolutely fantastic. From the Mana Motorsport driver in the number 16 car, rising up through Eau Rouge and Radion. But those soft tyres ain't looking too hot. And I can say the same about Moises Lima at 11%. Oh, dearie me. Hyperdrive Racing might have another puncture on their hands in as many laps as they have drivers. And as Moises makes the lunge into turn 4, how late's he gonna brake? Oh, so very late, but still not in front. 5%. That's all it is for the Hyperdrive fan. Really needs to be closer to pit lane, and I don't think he's gonna find it. 3, 2, and 1. As I am Turbo with a track limits warning in 15th position. Moises Lima from P4 has hit 0 and has a full car puncture. And Hyperdrive just kept him out for 1 lap too long, and I don't think they were able to call him into the pits, considering the fact that they were still handling the entire Verstappen situation. But now for Moises, he'll have to contend with those tyres being punctured for the rest of the lap. And that's going to be terrible for the teams, because now they know the soft tyres can only do 2 laps. They can't do more than that. 2 laps is the limit for the red-walled Hankook tyres. And now everyone behind has to just avoid the number 2 car. Ahmed Cilia is coming to the pits. In light of that knowledge, and Nora, the man 3rd in the standings, has got another time penalty in 18th after running into the back of Moises Lima. 70% car damage and Groundhog Day for Hyperdrive BBX. I don't think there's any other way that you can describe it. I think every every soft tyre runner who was on 2-lap old softs came into the pits there. Heck, the hard tyres aren't even holding up that well either. I see them only doing about 4 laps. The tyres, the Hankook tyres, are blowing up. Although so far they've only hit the Hyperdrives. Casper LeBeau leads this race. Ryan Burson, his teammate, has just set the fastest first sector. On board we go with car number 6. It's the ERL from Belgium. This race could actually go quite quickly here, as long as they keep it green, and I honestly hope it does stay green. Silly on the back of Cosmas Medicis, gaining quite quickly on the Greek driver in front of him. This is 4th position as well. And as we believe Casper LeBeau is coming into the pits, Silly does not try and make the pass on Cosmas Medicis. In comes Casper, Cosmas, and Silly. Jensen Olsen stays out, and on lap 8 of 11 will be leading us to this new lap here in Belgium in front of Tommy and Ahmed Cilia. Okay, Guillermo Perez with the fastest lap, and a set of mediums going on for Casper LeBeau. That's another stop that needs to be made. Ryan Burson with the fastest lap, and I believe in a race like this, we're not going to find out who's really won until the checkered flag has fallen. It's not going to be a predictable affair like we've seen before in the ERL, especially in the Ace Championship, where races are often just won immediately. There goes Magic in front of Nora, who's had a really tough time getting out of Eau Rouge and Radion. But thankfully no tyre issues there. Jensen Olsen leads from Ahmed Cilia and Tommy. Hopefully Furniture Row Racing and Revolution Racing, as well as Team Impul and Mana, as well as Gina Motorsports. There's a lot of teams that I see having issues if they don't pull in their drivers at the end of this lap. And now after lap 9, there's just a kind of kind of idea of just there's no real way that I'm going to come into the pits again, but we've got dark clouds here in Belgium. Here comes Ahmed Cilia, side by side with Jensen Olsen into the bus stop chicane. Just didn't want to commit, it seemed. Into the pits come the top two. Red flashing light indicating slow car there. So I Am Turbo inherits the race lead. Casper LeBeau is in second position on lap 9 of 11. And I think he's got this lead in the bag. Here he comes into Eau Rouge Radion. Almost contact with the rear tire. Doesn't matter because Casper LeBeau now leads in Belgium in what could be a championship defining race. Nora at 25%. I think he might have another lap in those tires, thankfully. Heading down for I Am Turbo. Anything left in those hard tires, I think he'll want to save, because 5 laps on those hards might not be as feasible as 3 laps on the mediums. I think 3 laps on the mediums plenty doable, with the only issue being going through the bus stop chicane, where you might have a slight worry. Ryan Burton's just dueling with Claire de Lune here. On board we go with car number 6, almost getting sideswiped, losing the front nose cone. Could have happened there, but thankfully doesn't. 35% though. Would be close if this was a 10-lap race. I don't think Ryan Burton's going to make it to the checkered. But if it stays as is, Claire de Lune, absolutely no way in hell they're making it to the checkered. The mid-pack finally ramping up into the iconic ERL chaos that we often see. Look at that launch for Matthew. Matthew getting really feisty on this penultimate lap now. Side by side with Ryan Burton and up into 4th position from last on the grid. And is that magic going for the move? No, it isn't. We've got a lot of drivers who came into the pits on the prior lap, and Nora dropping down through the field like a stone at 9%. I don't think they're making it to the end. That is going to cause issues for both I Am Turbo and Ryan Burton. Ryan has hit 25% tire wear. Claire de Lune has hit 11. Ryan Burton on the back of Matthew. How's Matthew's tires doing? 25%, almost contact between these two. I think Casper's going to be good to the end of the race, and that will be a massive sigh of relief for Goodhart Racing, who know that if nothing else goes wrong, they've got the championship lead in the driver's standings for the first time all season long, and all they need to do from here is not lose grip of it. That's all they need to do. Just hold on. Meanwhile, for Claire de Lune, he's at 1%, 2 seconds in front of Matthew. He'll have to dodge and weave quite quickly because Claire de Lune has a puncture in that number 10 Junior Motorsports car, and he doesn't weave. 5-second time penalty for Matthew as Casper LeBeau is going through the bus stop chicane to start the final lap of this race. Oh, right into the back of it for Experto. And I think Nora's got tyre issues too, does he? Yes! Full car puncture for the man third in the standings! This is unbelievable levels of carnage on this final lap now. And for Claire de Lune, this is terrible. Oh, Carlos Maspedisas with a time penalty for causing a collision. Everyone going fully elbows out on this last lap, but the gap out in front is 13 seconds. It'll surely enlarge because I Am Turbo is at 5%. Ryan Burton has hit 7%. 3% for Matthew. There is no world where any of the top 5 don't make it to 12 laps. This is insane. I think the top 2 have got a puncture maybe. On board with Matthew, he's got a puncture. He's at 0. My goodness me. These guys have cut it so close. Matthew with a full car puncture. Oh no. This is absolute chaos on this last lap. And now the high-tech man is going to have to trundle around this last lap. Full car puncture for I Am Turbo. What about Ryan Burton? Puncture for him as well. Silly gets by. Jensen Olsen just about gets by. Cosmas Medeiros doesn't pick up another puncture or a time penalty or anything of that sort. Moises Lima, time penalty causing a collision. Burson, after the highs of last time out, has to suffer again. Meanwhile, Casper Leveau takes victory, and we've got a caution. Gab Stappen is out of this race. Oh dear. Star with a 5-second time penalty we missed. Seeing Casper Leveau come across the line. Nora hit the wall at the I don't even have words at this point. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, this race did go by quite quickly. Coming to the line though. Silly. At 7% tire well will be P2 from Jensen Olsen and Cosmas Medeiros. Ahmed Cilia to the line. Can he stay in front of Tommy? Just about manages to do so. And no front wing left undamaged. Million Brulez with a puncture. Matthew with a puncture. Thomas Holtz. Magic. Lam Fong. Moises Lima. Claire DeLune. Nora. Just name a driver. Their tyre went pop. Like that. It's a shock that we've had 2 DNFs. I think that's the largest winning margin in Ace Championship history. 36 seconds, and that's because Casper crossed the line before the full course cautions came out. And for Good Heart Racing, that puts their driver leading the points, and I think Casper is now the first multiple time race winner in the Ace Championship, I believe. It would explain why he's leading the championship now, of course. Nora's got a long way to go, so yeah, just skip to the podium ceremonies from here. Nora was over 2 minutes off of the race lead there. 2 minutes! What a race-winning margin. Casper Leveau taking victory from Silly and Jensen Olsen. Honestly, what a top 3. What a top 3. That's unbelievable to see that happen at the end of the race too. But as for the rest of your finishes, Tommy was 4th from your boy and Guillermo Perez. What an Ace Championship debut for him. Then it's Ahmed Cilia, Exferno, Cosmas Medeiros, and Starvey top 10. Outside of it, Ryan Burton just missing out on points from I Am Turbo and Millian Brulez. Then it's Thomas Holtz, Magic Matthew, Lam Fong, Moises Lima, Claire DeLune, and Nora, with the non-finishers being Gab Stappen and Drago. In the point standings, Casper Leveau now leads 22 points in front of Drago. Then it's Nora, Silly, Ryan Burton, and your boy then Magic, Jensen Olsen, Exferno, Ahmed Cilia, Star, Moises Lima, Guillermo Perez, Lam Fong, Claire DeLune, Gab Stappen, Tommy, Millian Brulez, Matthew, I Am Turbo, Cosmas Medeiros, and Thomas Holtz in the constructors standings. Heading into the penultimate round of the championship in Austria, Good Heart Racing have a 53-point lead over Mana Motorsport. Were we heading into the final race of the championship, Good Heart Racing would be the constructors champions. But with this extra race, can Mana Motorsport close up? It's mathematically possible for them to win the championship. Doesn't seem too feasible right now. Power Motorsport is 3rd from Chip Ganassi Racing, High-Tech GP, Furniture Row Racing, Campos Meta GP, Junior Motorsports, Hyperdrive BBX, Team Impol, and Revolution Racing. We will see you guys next time then when the ERL returns. Sparkplug Motorsports thanks you for watching this presentation of the Electric Racing League.